Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Do you ever wake up feeling like you haven't slept at all? You drag yourself out of bed feeling groggy and irritable, and you just can't seem to shake that feeling all day. If that sounds familiar, you're definitely not alone. So many of us are walking around sleep deprived, and it's taking a huge toll on our health, our mood, and our ability to just enjoy life. But what if I told you that getting amazing restorative sleep isn't some impossible dream? What if it's actually a skill you can learn? Well, it is. And today, I'm going to share the ultimate guide on how to sleep your way to better health. We're going deep, covering everything from your daily habits to your bedroom environment, so you can finally start waking up refreshed, energized, and ready to take on the world. Let's get started. First things first, let's talk about why sleep is so incredibly important. It's not just about resting your body. When you sleep, your brain is working overtime. It's consolidating memories, clearing out toxins that build up during the day, and basically doing all the essential maintenance that keeps it running smoothly. Think of it like a cleanup crew for your mind. Without enough quality sleep, that cleanup doesn't happen properly. This can lead to brain fog, difficulty concentrating, and even a higher risk for serious health issues down the line. And it's not just your brain. Your body needs sleep to repair muscles, regulate hormones like cortisol, the stress hormone, and keep your immune system strong. Consistently skimping on sleep can mess with your metabolism, increase your appetite for unhealthy foods, and even impact your heart health. So let's stop thinking of sleep as a luxury and start treating it as a non-negotiable pillar of our health, just like diet and exercise. So, how do we actually get this amazing sleep? It all starts with your circadian rhythm. This is your body's internal 24-hour clock that tells you when to be awake and when to feel sleepy. The most powerful way to regulate this clock is with light. The goal is to get bright light exposure in the morning and limit light, especially blue light, in the evening. As soon as you wake up, try to get at least 10 to 15 minutes of direct sunlight. Open the curtains, step outside, or even sit by a bright window. This signals to your brain that it's daytime and time to be alert. In contrast, as evening approaches, you want to do the opposite. Dim the lights in your home. And this is a big one. Avoid screens, phones, tablets, TVs, for at least an hour before bed. The blue light from these devices is particularly disruptive because it tricks your brain into thinking it's still daytime, suppressing the production of melatonin, your natural sleep hormone. If you absolutely must use a screen, switch it to night mode or use blue light blocking glasses. Consistency is key. Your body loves a routine. Try to go to bed and wake up at the same time every single day, and yes, that includes weekends. I know it's tempting to sleep in on Saturday, but that can throw your internal clock out of whack, making it much harder to wake up on Monday morning. It's like giving yourself a mini dose of jet lag every single week. If you need to catch up on sleep, a short nap in the early afternoon is a much better option than sleeping in for hours. A 20 to 30-minute nap can boost your alertness without interfering with your nighttime sleep. Just be careful not to nap for too long or too late in the day, as that can make it difficult to fall asleep later. Sticking to a consistent schedule helps anchor your circadian rhythm, making it easier to fall asleep naturally and wake up feeling refreshed. Now let's talk about your daily habits, because what you do during the day has a huge impact on how you sleep at night. Let's start with caffeine. We all love our morning coffee, and that's generally fine. But caffeine has a surprisingly long half-life, meaning it stays in your system for hours. To be safe, try to have your last cup of caffeine at least 8, maybe even 10 hours before your bedtime. So if you go to bed at 10 p.m., you should probably cut off caffeine by 2 p.m. at the latest. Next, exercise. Regular physical activity is fantastic for sleep. It helps reduce stress and tires your body out in a good way. The timing matters, though. A vigorous workout too close to bedtime can be overstimulating for some people. It raises your core body temperature and heart rate, which is the opposite of what you want when you're trying to wind down. Aim to finish any intense exercise at least 3 hours before you plan to sleep. Gentle activities like stretching or yoga in the evening, however, can be very relaxing and beneficial. What you eat and drink also plays a major role. A huge heavy meal right before bed can cause indigestion and discomfort, making it hard to fall asleep. Try to have your dinner at least 2 to 3 hours before you hit the hay. If you get hungry later in the evening, a small light snack is okay. Think a handful of almonds, a banana, or a small bowl of oatmeal. These actually contain nutrients that can promote sleep. On the flip side, alcohol is a common but tricky one. Many people think a glass of wine helps them relax and fall asleep faster, and it might. But alcohol actually disrupts your sleep architecture later in the night. It suppresses REM sleep, which is crucial for memory and emotional regulation. This is why you might wake up feeling groggy and unrefreshed after a night of drinking, even if you slept for a long time. And of course, try not to drink too many fluids right before bed, or you'll be making multiple trips to the bathroom. Okay, let's create the perfect sleep sanctuary. Your bedroom should be a haven for rest and relaxation, and that's it. First, make it cool. Your body temperature naturally drops to initiate sleep, and a cool room helps that process along. The ideal temperature for most people is somewhere around 18 to 20 degrees Celsius or 65 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Experiment and see what feels best for you. Next, make it dark, and I mean really dark. Pitch black, use blackout curtains, wear a sleep mask. Cover any little electronic lights. Even a tiny bit of light can disrupt your sleep cycle. And finally, make it quiet. If you live in a noisy area, consider using a white noise machine, a fan, or earplugs to block out disruptive sounds. The goal is to minimize any sensory input that could signal to your brain that it's time to be awake. Your bed should also be reserved for sleep and intimacy only. Don't work, eat, or watch TV in bed. You want your brain to have a strong association between your bed and sleep. Now for one of the most important parts, a wind-down routine. You can't just go from 100 miles an hour to 0 and expect to fall asleep instantly. You need to give your mind and body time to transition. An hour before bed, start your wind-down ritual. This is your personal time to de-stress. Turn off the news, put away your work, and step away from those screens. What you do during this hour is up to you. You could take a warm bath or shower. The rise and subsequent fall in body temperature can help make you feel sleepy. You could read a physical book, not on a tablet, preferably something light and not too stimulating. Listening to calming music or a relaxing podcast can also be wonderful. Another powerful technique is journaling. If you have a racing mind, spend 10 minutes writing down everything that's worrying you. Getting it out of your head and onto paper can provide a huge sense of relief. Simple breathing exercises or meditation are also fantastic for calming your nervous system. Just a few minutes of deep, slow breathing can make a world of difference. But what if you do all of this and you're still lying in bed, wide awake, staring at the ceiling? This is a really common frustration. The worst thing you can do in this situation is to stay in bed and worry about not sleeping. This creates a negative cycle where you start to associate your bed with anxiety and frustration. So here's the rule. If you can't fall asleep after about 20 minutes, get out of bed. Go to another dimly lit room and do something calm and relaxing. Read a boring book, listen to soft music, or do some gentle stretches. Avoid your phone at all costs. The key is to do something low-key until you start to feel sleepy again, and only then should you go back to bed. This helps break that negative association and retrains your brain to see your bed as a place for sleep, not for tossing and turning. It might feel counterintuitive to get up, but trust me, it's one of the most effective strategies for overcoming insomnia. So there you have it, a comprehensive guide to unlocking the power of sleep. It's about building a lifestyle that supports your body's natural rhythms. From getting morning sunlight and creating a consistent schedule, to managing your diet and exercise and designing a relaxing wind-down routine and a perfect sleep environment. It might seem like a lot of changes, but you don't have to do everything at once. Start by picking one or two things that seem most manageable for you. Maybe it's cutting out caffeine in the afternoon or putting your phone away an hour before bed. Once that becomes a habit, add another one. Small, consistent changes over time will lead to massive improvements in your sleep quality and your overall health. Remember, sleep isn't a passive activity. It's an active investment in your well-being. Start prioritizing it tonight, and you'll be amazed at how much better you feel. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more tips on living a healthier, happier life. Sleep well.